Hello, hello, hello. This is Out of the Mud presents the Red Alert RBT show. Real blessings thrive. Snaps and chats with Terralisa McBride. And today's show is 21 questions.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing this lovely Monday, July 14th? We finally starting to get a little bit of sun out here, y'all. Man, it's been some things going on. We got some questions for you today. Chime in. Let us know your thoughts. 248-820-5053. Got some questions coming in on the line. I appreciate if you give us a call. And if you want a video, call in. Send us a link. We'll get it to you. As starters, before we get into the 21 questions, I hope y'all ready for them. I got a poem for you today, and it's called When You Give the Devil His Due. When you give the devil his due, he attacks you and your crew. But what do you do when your crew abandons you? When you do the devil's deed, he has a way of keeping you from falling to your knees. He will show you all that glimmers and glows until he delivers that deadly blow. But God said, I have all power. You have allowed Satan to entertain you and make you sour. My child, the devil was an angel cast down from above because of his ways. He wants to destroy you, but I will show you the love that you can present to everyone in the godly way. Satan is not sometimes you escape from him time after time. If you give him profound faith, I will keep you safe. Because when you give the devil his due, he will keep you locked in his place. His place is not above or beneath. His place is deep in the center of the earth, beyond heaven's peaks. Come unto me, I'll free you before the devil has his due that will cause you to murder and kill. I am not talking about a person or a mankind. He will kill your most precious gift. I'm talking about he will kill mine. When you give the devil his due, it is hard for you to escape. Have faith in me. I am your God. I'll carry you through to keep you safe. Amen. Man, it's a lot of things out here that stop people from moving on with uh, their callings or things that they're doing in life. But we're here to answer some questions because I'm always saying for every level there's a devil, and I don't mean like an actual devil, but like some unknown power, something that's altering or changing what you are trying to do in life. So again, give us a call here at Out of the 248-820-5053. We're here to answer some questions. I got 21 questions that's coming toward me. And feel free to chime in if you want to ask some questions. Or maybe you have an answer to some of the questions that's coming up. So we'll go ahead and get started with the questions. What we got, Mr. Grundy?
Oh, I was Here we go. So,
Matter of fact, shout out to George F. Grundy II here at Out of the Mud Inc. and James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. And we got Larry Lott. Man, I'm telling you, all these guys are doing wonderful things. I know you hear a lot of people saying it, but to see it is to believe it. So check us out. Get online, like, share, subscribe. See what's going on in your own city. What we got here, George?
that's what's up. That's
That's
what's
what's
up.
up. How you doing today, George?
Oh, everything is wonderful. Life is life, and I'm living
Life
and
is
I'm
life.
enjoying it, the ride.
Everything is awesome. All right. Got a little 50 Cent 21 questions planned. Got
Right.
me a little
And with that,
groove.
yeah, we got some questions going on. We
Yeah.
hopefully that a lot of people interact and engage and ask questions. But until then, right now we do have questions that were asked. And one of them is what is more important? On your
I'm going to say family is more important. It's too many people out here that get hooked on the fact that get rich quick, want the fast money. You know, they all out here living in a microwave life. They want it hot and ready right now, instantly. But sometimes um, family and the values of family is more promising for you, even in your finances. I mean, I know money can buy things, but I'd rather be rich in love with my family than
Got to turn my mic back on.
Okay.
So for me, what's more important, money or family? Is always family. Money doesn't mean nothing to me. I would rather have people in my life than money in my life because the people that I'm with, we can make money together
Exactly.
if we stand right.
That's right. That's the stuff I'm talking about. These are questions that have been basically asked before or spoke on before. However, just going through the motion with everything in life, like I said, when you give the devil his due, you're actually allowing him to control what you go through. Don't be the victim. Try to figure out a way to get out of situations. Again, give us a call. What's your answers to what's more important to you, money or family? Or do you got a question for me? I want to answer some questions. Got some stuff I want to say.
All right, all
All
right.
right, all right.
So another question. Ready for it?
I'm ready.
Do you have do you have to go to church to believe in God?
I'm going to say no. Um, the church is a building. And of course, you go to the building to fellowship with other people, especially if you consider them your family, which I consider my church people my family, and they consider me theirs. So I feel that you don't always have to go to church. A lot of people who I talk to or minister to or just sociable with them and fellowship with them. I always talk about God or talk about something good because, He's great in my life. And I'm very thankful that I've opened my eyes to my own calling. But I will say this, you don't have to go there to believe in Him. Just know that He's real. Even when you can't see Him or trace Him, you might not even understand. But give yourself the opportunity to know this. If you believe in Him, He lives inside of you. Amen.
There you go.
There you
That's a
go.
great answer. What's the best way to stay positive?
Mind your business.
Oh wow.
Mind your own business. No. The best way to stay positive is to, I guess, be kind to others all the time, no matter what. I mean, I am practicing it. I practice what I preach. I am practicing right now to smile more, which I smile all the time anyway, but I want to be kinder to people, even if it's somebody that I haven't spoken to in a long time or dealt with in a long time, or we just had a falling out. When I see you, I'm going to smile and speak to you. I don't want to have a negative vibe on me when I'm dealing with a person. But I think that's the best way to stay positive. If any of you got any answers to that, give us a call. Come on now, 248-820-5053. I know you got some of these thoughts in your head. Let's get
All right.
all
We're gonna keep
right.
going. Did you have a small or a large circle of friends?
Ooh. I'm gonna say friends is a very touchy word to say and throw out there. I feel that if you have friends, you're really truly only going to have a small circle because that small circle, you all have you're tight knit together. If you have a large circle of friends, one of them and there's going to be a Judas for you. I'm just saying. That's just what I think. I I just think that. But I also think that if you have a large circle of friends, that it's possible that you interact with all of them on a different level, but all will get along, a small circle would.
Now, give us some examples of how having a small circle can be stronger than having a large. Some people they attract people. They're like they gather people. Like people just want to be around them. They just want to be with them, and they seem to be good with people, so they have seemingly a lot of friends. Some people we've seen have those situations and then they kind of fall apart because some folks ain't who they say they is. Just because they friend folk don't mean they kin folk,
Exactly.
you know. So give us a couple examples of how small circles can be better than large, and also maybe the other way around.
Okay,
Because some folks come from large families and they just attract people.
exactly. Okay, well, I'll start with a small circle. The small circle of friends, again, you tight knit. you basically all pretty much have the same likes and dislikes. It's kind of like it's a personal twin of yours, or triplet or quadruplet or what have you. And you all are together on a regular basis and you do things like family. And then also the beliefs that you have, not only just the things you like, but your beliefs. They believe in the same thing you do. And the stronger your foundation with someone that you can build with in a relationship as a friendship, I feel that most of the foundations of those friendships like that start with small circles, because it's some people you have a hard time trusting. And I think trust issues happen when you have too many people in your business and one person may not really be for you. So that's like the offset for me for having a large circle of friends, because you don't know 100% that this if you got okay, we'll do it in numbers. If you got 10 people that you consider your best friends and all of you go out to dinner all together, you may entertain each other's houses, things like that. At one point or another, one of the 10 of you are going to have some kind of a ripple that says that you're closer to this person more than that person. Now, when you're in a small circle, let's say 4 of you are friends, and you can have that same effect. Truly, you can, but it'll be more easier for you to condone what you all are doing. Like if somebody did something you didn't like, then it's just for you to discuss what can we do to be better friends? What can we do to stay positive? What can we do to make this friendship stay strong as it is? Whereas with 10 friends, you may go to 3 of the 10 and 4 of them don't even want to answer the question or even try to make good on what the problem was. And then now you got one person saying this and one person, it's just too much. That's just my opinion. But again, if you have your opinion, and that's all this is 21 questions today with RBT, give us a call, 248-820-5053. And I want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to MUA Jock. Book with her for your makeup needs. She has a makeup website. It's makeupismylife.com. You want to look beautiful. Again, I know they got some open houses going on still. We're still in July. Things is happening out in the summer. You got parties, you got events, you got things going on. You want to look beautiful? Get your makeup done. Give her a call. Again, MUA Jock, book with her at makeupismylife.com. And I want to take another moment quickly here to give a shout out to Larry Lott, James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, and George F. Grundy for allowing me to be here to do my little thing. Red alert, red alert. I'm loving that. And I hope you all are in tune and having a good time with it as well. Um, One of the other questions that I do know that I've seen here is called, not called, it says, can you rebuild trust with a person that you hurt? Wow. Do you think you can rebuild trust with a person that hurt you or that you may have hurt? What do you think, George?
I think you're giving some very amazing answers to all these, and you have a lot of wisdom.
Mm.
And folks need to call you up and pay you to come speak and recite your poems and do public speaking for all that you do. But
That happens sometimes on occasion. I do get a chance to get out and
okay,
do some public speaking and stuff like that, and I really enjoy it. Check out Passages. I missed a couple of events, but I'm going back again. I'll keep you in tune with the next one that I know is coming up. But yeah, I was on the fourth one down. Should you? No, I'm sorry, fifth. Can you rebuild trust with a person that hurt you or that you hurt?
you could, but
How?
it'd be difficult.
It would.
I think the scripture has something to the effect that it's more difficult to win over a strong city than the trust of a friend that has lost trust.
Oh wow.
Something to that effect.
Okay, I might have to
Yeah.
look that up because
Yeah.
how I feel it's hard to rebuild the trust with someone that you hurt or that hurt you for this main reason. If they hurt you or you hurt them, you were already at your breaking point because you don't hurt people that you love. So it's hard to rebuild. What you can do is get a fresh start and not build, but start on a different path with that person. But to try to rebuild something with someone that hurt you or you hurt them, you're gonna always have that in the back of your mind that's gonna bother you.
All right. And yeah, I agree. I was gonna go somewhere else with it. But sometimes people just tolerate you because they want something from you. And then they hurt you because they can't deal with tolerating you anymore.
And that's why it makes it hard to rebuild.
Yeah, impossible because it's impossible for me. Um, and I'll never say never, but I'll
Never
say
say never.
impossible because I'm always gonna have that question.
All right.
So even with that said, does anyone in the audience have anything to say to that? Well, look, I'm gonna go sit at this shit.
All right. We got someone with a question in the audience here.
Well, first I'm just trying to reach on what exactly. I heard you speaking on hurt.
Yeah, I'm doing like 21 questions. Yeah. Can you rebuild trust with a person that hurt you or that you hurt?
Honestly, I think it's very difficult. I think it's very difficult, and I also, think a lot of things we have been accustomed to handling on our own and dealing with on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So when just hypothetically speaking, if I was to hurt you, and then when I come back trying to apologize and mend that, I'm coming back trying, but whatever was broken in me is still broken in me and not
That's
fixed.
what yes.
But we forget how important. I'm not trying to tell a person uh, what religion to pick because I
Exactly.
feel everything is from the spirit. But if you add the higher power into your life, that's when I feel one stands a better chance
Yes, sir.
to get to reach that goal.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're broken, because hurt people,
That's why I had that. That was a question because of that reason. Hurt people hurt people.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, that was a great answer, and I appreciate you giving me that answer, sir. Thank you
Well,
so
I
much.
always enjoy your show. It's very positive. You've always reaching out, so it's always a pleasure when it comes to you.
I really appreciate that. Thank
Okay.
you so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Give us a call, 248-820-5053. I know you got some questions. What we got, George?
Red Alert RBT show is recorded live in front of a live studio audience here at
Downtown Flint.
412 downtown Flint, the beautiful
Yeah.
downtown Flint. If you want to come down, call 248-820-5053 and reach out to Terralisa McBride at RBT. Let's go.
Let's go.
So, another question: should parents interfere in their child's coaching?
No.
So now, when you say child's coaching, we're talking about the team
Like
sports and
sports.
sports and things like that.
Sports.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
I say no. I think it's detrimental to the child itself for their parent, whether it's the mother or the father, to interfere when the coach is coaching. Now, if the coach made a bad call or didn't put your kid in or did something wrong, I suggest that you take it up with the coach after the game or after the practice. Don't do it in the middle of the practice because if the coach is teaching your child discipline and you're supposed to be teaching your child discipline at home, you may not believe in everything that they're teaching them or instructing them to do while on the field or the court. But as soon as you interfere with that coach, you're setting a bad example for yourself and you're making those children look at you in a different way because now the kid's like, oh, I better listen to my mama and my daddy or I'm going to get in trouble at home. And you don't listen to your coach, you're going to get in trouble on the field or the court. The coach don't put you in because of your disrespect. Now your parent want to see, I think parents should stay out of it. If you're not the coach, just have a conversation with the coach after the fact. What do we got here? What you think about that?
Studio audience.
I agree with you because as a parent, it's personal, and when you didn't allow a child to take part in something, that person has their coach, which is their leader at the time, the leader and the trainer of what it is they're involved in, and you have to trust in them. It's too much of a conflict of interest and it's confusing to the child,
Yes.
and then it's so personal because a lot of people where they may have fell short in what they were trying to do, they try to live it through their kids
Ooh.
and put that pressure
Yes.
on, you know. So I definitely agree with you.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think, George?
Well, I want to see if we have another response from studio audience. We got Tupac's father here today, so looks just like Pac's dad.
You know about sports and
Yeah,
how
yeah,
do you
but-
feel?
but
A young lady
come
here
on to the
feels
to the to the
that
studio audience seat.
parents shouldn't get involved
Yeah, that's
in
just
the kids' sports.
while they're being coached by their coach.
Have a coach.
Studio audience, we're doing all right.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Shakur?
Um, so you repeat the question.
Repeat the question, George.
So the question is, should parents interfere with their child's coaching? So if you have a child that's playing basketball and my team Cleves is training them, should you be like, hey, Coach Cleves, leave my son alone because I said he needs to shoot this way? Well, sir, I played the game professionally and on a high level. So if you want to coach him, you coach him. But if you want me to coach him, sit down, shut up.
Well, I believe you should have a little say in it, because the coaches they know what they're doing. So, but as a parent, we want the best for our children. So, we're going to have a conflict between the coach and yourself as the
Right.
parent.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
And the child.
and the
And
child, but
child.
the child is there. But so we just we're trying to give the best example that we can to the child, for the coach to, we want to say something bad, but we can't really, what I'm saying, because of the what they're going through,
Right.
the
And
So
it,
training
that
it-
so that means that no, the
that's
parent
well,
needs to go
no,
sit down.
no and yes. Well, I'll say no and yes. What I'm saying, because
I
you
mean,
do
it
have a
got its
big
pros and cons, so I
right,
get
because
it.
because you and your son or your kid's life, most way more than the coaches are. So
Why not talk about that at home?
Exactly. And I
right.
definitely think you shouldn't do it at the game
Hmm.
or in practice because the other little kids that are there too, they're going to be like, why your dad always coming here yelling? We trying to listen to the coach.
Right.
What-
No time. What
Right.
does that do for the kid, bro?
That kind of
Well,
like
his answer is his answer.
right.
Right. And I respect his answer.
Okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Well, I
Thank you,
appreciate you
Mr.
giving us that
Tupac
answer.
Shakur's dad. Yeah. So yeah.
All eyes on me. All right. What
So
we
yeah.
got?
So you asked me, I'm gonna say short. Should the parent? It depends on the parent and the coach. The child needs to learn fundamentals,
Exactly.
and the parents should stay out the way until the fundamentals are learned, especially if you put them in a coaching situation.
Yes.
So if you chose a coach that has tough love, then deal with the tough love the coach gives.
Exactly.
If you have a coach that is a passive aggressive, deal with that coach
Exactly.
according to what you chose. Because as an adult, you made that decision for your child.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a coach is abusive,
No, that's another
that's
one.
different.
Yes.
But
Yes.
a tough love and abuse may have a thin line,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a line. I'm the type of person I need a tough love coach or drill instructor to get the best that I need to get. You know what I mean?
I can recall one time when my granddaughter was playing volleyball, and my daughter played volleyball, and she was really good at it. But when my granddaughter was out there, it was like the coach was just standing there, and I found myself getting out of character, yelling in the game at the coach. And my daughter was like, "Mom, you gonna get thrown out of here? You embarrassing me and this and that." I was like, "I don't care," and I had to reevaluate myself because I was like, "Wait a minute." Looking around, like, ain't nobody else hooping and hollering but me. And all the other kids trying to look at me ain't paying attention to what's going on in the game, and they miss the score. So that's what made me realize I have to stop that.
Yeah, because it's the best thing I could say that a parent should do is make sure they get to know and understand the coach that they're gonna allow to have their child.
Yep.
Because we had the general, Bobby Knight, Iron Fist, no play, like an army drill instructor. Then over here we got Jim Boeheim for Syracuse.
Okay.
Then we have John Thompson, Georgetown Hoyas. So, when you have these different coaches, they have different techniques. Some is
True.
soft. So everybody relate, but each one I just mentioned, our word successful coaches,
Championship coaches.
championship coaches. So it goes to show they know what they're doing. They have produced great NBA players, but their styles. So you
You have
know
to
your
trust their
child,
process.
you know your child, you
There
know
we go.
their points, and you get the coach that fit him, compliment him well, and trust in that coach.
And trust in the process. Amen. That's right.
So earlier, Bradley McDonald said Jim and I. So you may have said something about a Gemini
I'm not.
or
No.
Gemini, but Bradley McDonald.
Hi, Bradley McDonald. I don't understand your answer, but hey,
Jim, but maybe you're a gem in his eye.
I am a diamond in the rough.
Okay.
And he spelled it out GEM with
Like
a
a
picture
gem.
of a diamond,
Yeah, I
and
saw
then
that.
IN, and then a picture of an eye. Jim and I.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless he's talking about Jim and I, him and Jim.
I'm not sure.
Maybe he can respond and
Yeah,
give
give us some
clarity,
more information.
give clarity to that.
Brad.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We got any more questions, George?
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we have down here. Now, I want to this question: what can a person do to stay focused?
I believe, again, like I said, mind your business and just stay positive. Stay positive. Set little goals for yourself and take baby steps, especially when you know that you've fallen down or failed at certain things. You need to stay focused. I mean, you got to block out some of the background noise in your life and stay focused on going forward. And sometimes that means, again, taking baby steps and minding your business and taking care of what you need to do for you first.
So, what do you personally do to stay focused? Like,
Me?
do you kick everybody out the house, lock the doors,
Nope.
turn all the lights off?
Nope.
Do you have like this solemn room that you built?
I do.
Okay.
I go in my office if I want to be focused, if I'm working.
Okay.
If I'm at work and there's all this stuff going on, I again go in my office. But if I'm at home, at my office, or I'll just go in a different spot of the house. And if someone's seeing me sitting there, usually if I got a pen and paper, or I'm just sitting there, not talking, not saying anything, I'm not on the phone, they
Okay.
can tell right then and there that I'm being focused.
Gotcha. So you have
I
your
have
own private space.
Yeah,
When you were
private
saying
space.
that, it reminded me of that old song. It's not that old, but it's that song. Come on in the room. You know, Jesus, she is mine. And the story about the car accident. Y'all remember that? Somebody tell me
Oh,
that they
okay, we got
remember
an
that. So,
audience member that remember
yeah.
that.
So
All
at
right,
least I don't
okay.
sound crazy. It just
I've
sound a little
never
crazy.
heard it,
But the story
okay.
goes in short. There was a car accident. They needed some help, and the old lady went to the door and said, "Can I use your closet?" And so they said, "What? Can I use your closet? I need the closet to call the doctor." And so the old lady went into the closet and she started praying and said, "Jesus is my doctor, and he writes all of my scriptures
I think
in my
now that verse I've heard.
room." All right,
Yes.
I'm done.
All right. Okay. Hey, y'all, give us a call, 248-820-5053. It's getting hot in here. We got these 21 questions going on. Red alert. What's going on? What we got, George?
So what we have, let's see here. What do we have? Does a does how does depression look? How can you help?
Depression doesn't have a face. Depression doesn't have a voice. However, depression exists in pretty much in every aspect of life of anyone. And I believe that how a person in my stature can help is to allow that person space. When you speak to people, they can be smiling and happy and laughing. You might not even know that in the back of their mind, they just wish they can end it all. So be unkind, first off, because you never know what kindness can do for someone. One smile can hide 1,000 tears. So if you're speaking with someone, do it with clarity. That's how you help them. You help them by not dwelling on their problem and definitely not dumping yours on them. That's why it's best to sometime when you got an issue of your own, take care of your own battle before you go give it to somebody else. You don't go out in the world because you don't know what another person's going through. We just saw this with this young lady with the McDonald's incident. I think this lady has some kind of depression or something going on, and she got triggered. And I'm not saying I condone anything that she did. It was very sad, the whole thing. But again, depression has no face, it has no voice, and it doesn't have a moment like the time of the day. Now I'm depressed. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I think that if you acknowledge yourself that you have pretty much feel like you're ready to give up, it's time for you to pick up the pieces and seek help. That's what I believe.
The question was, how does depression look? How can you help?
So it's like, say, I look if it's us within the person, or it's
So,
another person.
in any way that you see it from either side of the spectrum, how does depression look? When if you have issues of depression, how does that look to you and for you? And if you deal with people with depression, how does
How
that
does it
look
look?
to you and for you? And then how do you help with that for yourself and for others if
Well,
you do?
like when it comes to others, you have to know the person. Because then when you know the person, you know their gears, meaning if they up tempo person is, so you would see something change in their character, and you'd be like, you know what, something going on. They look stressed. It goes to
Mhm.
depression. You're around them to know their behavior. But if it's a stranger, even a stranger, you could just sometimes you can see the expression of
The
one's
discernment of the
face
spirit.
or a certain thing that they may say that you can pick up on. And then once again, I agree with how you said you can't just come at them about it. You have to just try to
Mhm.
open up
Be
pleasantry and let
kind.
them feel comfortable enough that if they want to share it, they want to share it.
That's how you can help.
Yeah,
Yep, that's
yeah.
exactly.
That's how you could try to reach that
Reach it.
individual. Now,
Mhm.
personally, myself, you know yourself. So when you're going through it, like I say, we this comes from generation to generation
Mhm.
of as a black race,
Mhm.
as a race. Hey, if you got any hardships, you just deal with it. No going to get help because we didn't get psychiatrists and things of that. It was just deal with it. So a lot of people just try to deal with it, but we've really not qualified to deal with the
That's
things
it.
that's going on
That's it.
within ourselves. And that don't make you a less of a person. That don't make you a dummy or a fool or nothing of the sort. But there is certain techniques and things to reaching and identifying something within you to sit and recognize to deal with it.
Right.
So it's about trying to find and reach out to the proper people that can give you the
Yep.
assistance
Seek help
that you
before you
need.
crash out. Seek
Seek
help.
help.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to reach out.
most definitely. So I'm gonna speak on myself. So uh, being a veteran and being deployed and dealing with what I've dealt with, I've been diagnosed with mental health issues such as depression.
Okay.
So for me, my best days turn into my worst nights. So if we had the greatest party ever and everybody's having a great time, it'd be great until that night because I'm waiting for something to fall apart.
Exactly.
Um, and mentally, it's a very, very straining thing, and something you wish you could just stop. And I look at it from my perspective, me dealing with it, and then wanting to just leave it alone, get rid of it, like people with addiction. Like I'm sure that people that have certain
Mhm.
addictions wish they could just stop,
Mhm.
wish they could not have that
Turn
addiction,
it off.
just quit, turn it off. So for whatever it is that I went through in my created these issues from military, I wish I could get those back so I didn't have to have these repetitive thoughts or these things that go on or these concerns and these anxieties and things like that. But I can't, no matter how much I try. And then they give you medications for these things, but those things can almost make it worse.
Mhm.
In some cases,
If you
I've
miss
heard.
one thing for
Right,
one moment, then that'll put you in a schizophrenic space. That'll
Uh-huh.
right.
put you in a space to where you want to do something to yourself. So for me, I manage it by being mindful of it
That's right.
and
Yes.
embracing
Yes.
stuff.
S-
Like I know it's about to
Be
happen,
So,
aware.
so
but I embrace it.
is it fair to say that you are learning how to self deal with it and develop methods of how to deal with and cope with it yourself? You develop that
Self-healing.
yourself healing, right?
I just deal with it. I just mentally know it's gonna happen. I know if I'm having a something that's going to spark some kind of
Trigger you.
happiness or some kind of joy, I know that I'm gonna have a horrible, horrible night. So I prepare for it.
Okay.
I try to
So
tire
you
myself out
mentally prepare yourself for it.
where once I could just go to sleep and sleep through it or
Yeah.
something else or find more stuff to do or sometimes I might be smoking a cigar all night long. Most of the time, just this is a personal thing that not a lot of people. I don't go to bed until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning every night.
I know somebody
It
else like that.
doesn't matter.
Do
And
not
then
sleep. Do not nothing.
that's not the part.
Sometimes
That's
you got to
part of the
change the
process.
sometimes you got
You
to
just
change that
yeah,
process a little bit.
look, Miss Stephanie. I've been living with this forever, so I this is not new and it's not old. So I'm saying I
You're
did.
coping with it.
This is how I deal with what I deal with.
Like just like Miss Red Alert was saying, this is a thing that we have to take into consideration. No, no, say that, Miss Red Alert. We have to be careful of what we say to a person or what our opinion is of what's going on with them,
Right.
because as we can mean well, but not understand triggering in a
Yep. It's
person
the triggers.
triggers. So that's when we was talking in here about self people try, we take things and we deal with it ourselves. And I hear what you're saying. I think personally, not directing this to you, but just directing it for any of us to have something going on. I think the self healing is not what's best. I think
So we're
we
not
should reach
qualified
out.
to do it.
We should reach out and take other consideration of methods, techniques that we might can embrace and say, you know what, I'm gonna take this and try this and see if this works. Because anything it is that a person gonna do, it starts with them
Starts
wanting
within.
exactly.
Right. Understood. So all that's everything that the resources that the VA has, I've been dealt with. So I'm very, y'all here at Out of the Mud Studios because I'm part of the reason why it happened. So I'm very responsible with
Right.
myself and the things that I do. So I'm not reckless with my own personal life, but it's something I have to manage. I have to manage that. I
Exactly.
I I I, I don't know how. I work at it every day.
You're coping with it.
That
You're
may be a better
able.
word. I
You're
don't know
coping. You're
because
able
life
to.
is life and I'm living it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm working through it every step that I take.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You take baby
Yeah.
steps. You set goals. You stay focused. You set baby steps. Just don't give in and give up and crash out.
Was it Pat Benatar had the song "Love Is a Battlefield"?
I've heard that before, but I don't know
It's
who it
song
is.
well, a song.
I don't
If
know who
anyone
the
heard it,
person was, but I remember that song.
Love is a battlefield.
I think it's Sade. Is it?
No,
No.
no,
Nah,
it's
that's something.
definitely not. Sade. But let me just say this: love is a battlefield. Life is a battlefield.
Yes.
And in this thing of life of a battlefield, you have to learn your survival.
Mm,
You have to learn your survival. And like I say, I look
Right.
at you, I don't feel no different about you. My opinion is the same. I mean, you part of why Out of the Mud is here to help people, to reach out to people.
Right.
yes.
You got so
Express
many good
themselves.
qualities. So that don't make you less of a person or nothing. But once again, I'm not gonna sit here to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. All I can say for any of us is just like you said, the VA. The VA has a system. I've never been a part of the VA, so this I could ask this
Okay.
more so because you're there. But I'm inclined to believe certain entities has works like a particular unit, and
Mm,
they deal with situations from a textbook and go this way. And that's why, although mines may have come from the streets, I don't mind to go to somewhere else professional to see what they got to say because that one might work for me. There's multiple choice in techniques of coping and getting things, our situations dealt with. You dealt with all the VAs, but if you want to and you feel like it, check another place.
Understood. Understood.
understood.
I know
Okay.
the studio on is right here. She was speaking. Let's see what she want to say, and then we'll get to the next question.
All right. I'm all right in you.
I'm good. Um, I noticed with depression, and I was listening to what you were saying. and I was speaking on having getting your sleep, and I'm gonna tell you why I noticed that. I've been doing a little. I take care of my mom, and she's like a study for me
Okay.
because she has like the beginning stages of the dementia, and she also have depression.
Okay.
So for years, she didn't sleep at night, up all night to 4 or 5 o'clock, couldn't turn her mind off,
Mm.
thinking, worrying, trying to figure out
They
things that
become a
don't need to be,
zombie.
that don't need to be figured out. Worrying about people that she don't need to be worrying about,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure life out when you don't need to worry about those things. And she's up until 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. Then she's sleeping all day. So everything was under control as far as the dementia, but I noticed when she really started not sleeping for like a week, 7 days at a time,
Wow.
it got worse.
Okay. Anxiety and all
Yeah,
that.
and not only that, the dementia got worse.
Mm.
And I went to the doctor. I took her to the doctor and I was telling her, I said, listen, she's not sleeping. And on top of the sleep, I noticed that the next day her mind is all unwired. Our brain is wired up
Right.
Right.
with different uh triggers, different things are firing,
Mm-hmm.
Neurons and
firing
things like
Yep.
that.
mechanisms.
Yeah.
So wasn't nothing firing for her
Mm.
and I noticed that because she was just, she thought I was somebody else and things was, she was just, mind is literally went
Mm-hmm.
haywires. And the
I
doctor
understand.
said it, you got to get your sleep.
Yes.
So he gave her some stuff to start sleeping. She didn't want to take it because she used to, like you said, trying to deal with it herself for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, mama, you can't deal with it. Sometimes sleep and let God deal with it
Mm-hmm.
while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So I started sneaking her medicine, her sleeping medicine.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah.
But
Allegedly.
guess what? After a week of me getting that under control, when I tell you she now, because remember the one show we had, I was telling you how she was telling about stuff way back in the day.
Okay.
She couldn't even do that no more
Mm.
because she wasn't getting her sleep. But
Mm.
now she's getting her sleep, and I see now how the brain is firing. The brain just started
Mm-hmm.
firing, and
Mm.
now she feels better. As I said, okay, you got your 6 to 8 hours. You woke up at 8 o'clock this morning.
Refreshed.
You eating your breakfast, and her mind, and she don't feel she's happy now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying it. The firing and the way the brain is wired up. You have to get that sleep in order for it to rejuvenate itself.
That's like what
Understood.
they're talking about with the kids and the Roblox and the Minecraft and always
On
constantly they
on
got
the
that in their
phone,
face, in their
that
face.
makes a
It's messing with
difference.
their brain waves.
The
Right.
brain
And I
wave.
The
think
blue
that when
screen.
people who take pills and drink and they stay up
Yes.
days on days and drugging and drinking, and then they're
Mental
zombies.
illness,
They're zombies.
but then that causes the mental
Yes, it
illness.
does. And then they think differently,
They
or they
think,
think people are
and then
trying to
they
attack them.
mad.
Ooh, always angry. I've experienced a depression with my
So,
grandmother. I took care of her.
Yeah,
so let me put this
Go
out
ahead.
here. 'Cause most of y'all that think y'all ain't got nothing wrong with y'all
we
crazier than
all
the
do.
folks that y'all say got mental health issues.
We all
So
do.
I'm gonna say that because sometimes that word or that clump just gets a little pointed. Not saying you guys are pointing anything at me, but
No,
I'm
because
just
Oh,
I'm
saying
no,
two
no,
just the
no.
times
whole
the
thing because
crazy.
when
I'm
you
still under
Right.
construction. Everything
right
ain't
right,
right with me.
but it's a broad thing because most people in a black community, African American, Negro community, indigenous, Aboriginal community, whatever we want to call ourselves, have mental health issues.
Everybody
Yes.
do.
Not
I
more
feel like
so than others. If you
everybody.
have come from a diaspora of enslavement and Trail of Tear ish stuff, then those things are in your DNA. Those things are. If you come from an environment to
We
where
all
you had the crack epidemic to destroy your family and so on and such, then you have
we all
mental health
did.
issues.
All
We just good at disguising and putting
but
good clothes on it
we all have had it.
and nice cars on it or gold on
We
it.
all in this room
Yeah,
have
coping.
had
Coping.
it.
So we're good at that in comparison to what people, and then it's the scale in which people grade us. So
Mm-hmm.
some folks literally, when you look at eugenics, it's a literal thing that, oh, black people can deal with it because they have tougher skin or they're more adept for pain. This is what people mentally think. They're
Right.
cognitively
Absolutely.
dissident of our
Yeah.
pain.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to build certain things in order to be able to deal with the pain that's going to come.
Right.
Because what crazy folks in any world would allow other folks to continue to kill them, destroy them, beat them, and not give you the same rights and of law that everybody else gets?
Right.
Some
Absolutely.
crazy folk.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then sit there and then perpetuate it through the music, perpetuate it through your actions,
Or
perpetuate it
a
through everything
movie.
else.
These
Crazy folks
demonic
do that.
movies. I feel like a person who can write a demonic movie, all these crazy movies, I said something is wrong
Mm-hmm.
for you to even think of something like
I'm
that.
telling you.
Or they could be smart.
Or, yep, a
Because
high IQ.
the thing is, we live in a society.
Yep.
I know we're good. I'm just. You can ask the next question later.
Yeah, we live in a society where the system is follow these rules to make it, and if you don't follow them to make it, then hey, you the person that's sleeping on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the most cunning words to me that has been said is the word, and it comes from the military. None against you and your service, but the military up the personnel that who designed it and developed. The number one thing that they get any race to understand is this famous saying: "There's casualties in war." So once you accept that there's casualties in war, when this person I know get killed over here, that one died is, hey, there's casualties in war.
Casualties and
You
more.
train to accept certain things. That has to be
Acceptable
so.
loss.
Exactly. But the thing is back to what we say, is deal with it. Hey, you're the type like you. Hey, you deal with it. That make you what you are. That make you a tough person. Just deal with it. But once again, we're not. We think it. We okay, and think we just can
Mm-hmm.
deal with it, but we really can't. And every
Self-diagnose. A lot of people try to
yes,
do that. A
yes,
lot of people try to
yes,
self-diagnose.
I'm still there.
Me too.
You know,
Hmm.
yeah.
I wanted to crawl up in the corner and ball up and die a couple months
And
ago. I was
then
ready to give up.
do you know I got a close. I consider my brother. I consider my brother, and he used to sit and be with me, and he used to say this to me. We be driving right, and he just only thing he didn't have. Okay, you didn't have a vehicle because you chose to do things not to get you a vehicle. But this person would ride with me and say, "Man, I wish I could be like you. I wish this that." I say, "Stop right there. Let me explain something to you. There is no difference between me or you.
Amen.
I'm not no better than you. The only difference between me and you is the choices that we make."
Yes. And a lot of people don't want to fess up to the
And-
choices they make because whether yeah, there we go. That's what I'm they don't take accountability for the
but,
choices that they make.
but let's not even go into they don't take accountability. Let's go into that they have enslaved their thought process
True that.
to just to the point of not knowing what they capable of.
Hmm.
See, everything is not about people taking accountability. It's about people who's really gonna sit and train themselves and believe that they cannot achieve certain things,
We
that they can't make
most
certain
people
things
are
happen
their
for
own
themselves.
biggest critic, and they block their own blessings by getting in their own head about
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And once you accept something and own it, you own it,
That's right.
no
That's
matter
right.
what it is.
All right, all right. So with
Okay.
that, we're gonna go with the next question.
All right.
Can you explain what dedication means to you?
Me,
Yes.
dedication to me means um, giving it your all, being the best that you can be, being your better self at any task that you're about to do or something you're about to complete. You're dedicated in your heart, your mind, you're dedicated in the actions that you do. That means you're full blown into this. That's what dedication means to me. I'm dedicated to my job. I'm dedicated to writing my poetry. So I stay in the tune of doing that, and I stay focused on that because I'm dedicated to it.
Okay. Explain ARM. ARM.
Wow. Quick little story behind that. It was a situation I got involved in. I had to deal with this program called ARM, and I wasn't very happy about that. But ARM to them meant, um, what did they? Oh, accept responsibility is mandatory. And I said, if I'm accepting my own responsibility, of course it's mandatory because it's to me. I changed that and I considered it to be called ARM, ARM, align, revise, and manifest. Because that's what I'm doing in my life. I'm aligning my life. I'm revising the things that I did that I know I could have done better. And I'm manifesting to do better and go forward. And I was very pleased that on Sunday, this thought process of mine for ARM, align, revise, and manifest, my church has adapted to putting that in the program, in the outreach program. So our dedication to the public and to the youth and to anyone that wants to come to our program on Tuesdays from 5 to 6. Shout out to St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church in Flint. Um, on Tuesdays, 5 to 6, we do what we call Hour of Power. And I'm very happy that I just discovered it yesterday when I was reading the church announcement that they had it in there and it had ARM, align, revise, and manifest. And they told me they were going to use that. By me being a poet and a writer and an author, I don't know all the times of the words that I say that someone's going to use. So a lot of things that I say to myself is today is better than yesterday because yesterday was better than the day before. That helps me to stay focused and dedicated and keeps me from feeling depressed because I'm only human. I'm going to feel that way too. Sometimes I feel depleted. Sometimes I feel unaccomplished. Sometimes I feel unloved. But most of the time, I have to remember to myself that there's a higher power and there's more out in the world and there's a purpose for me. And I've discovered what my purpose is. So that's where I lean toward.
Okay. Okay. Now, with that said, what made you decide to become a poet?
Well, as a child, we were deprived of a lot of things from being poor. I decided that we didn't really have a lot of TV, so we couldn't choose what channel we wanted to watch. So what I started doing was I would pick up a pen and paper and write my own fake stories and act them out to my brothers or my cousins or aunts and uncles who were close in my age. And one day I sat down and I heard my grandmother and her cousins and friends yipping and talking and all this stuff, and they were saying stuff that I was interested in. So I started writing those words down. And when I would go to school, I'd get the dictionary because we didn't have one at home, and I would look up what these words mean. And then I started doing I was like, "Oh," and then wordplay. I love wordplay. I love words. So I started collaborating words together and making short poems and short stories. And then when I realized people started liking it, it caused me to continue to do it. And as I got a little older, I never gave up on it. I can recall it was a time where, at the time when I was married, my husband thought that I was writing love letters or a personal letter to someone about him or something. And he would get upset and either rip them up or, want to read them and try to chastise me about them. And I had to like defend my mind and my thoughts. And that almost took me out of the realm of wanting to be an author, a writer, a poet. But obviously, God had a better plan for me in life because I never gave up on it.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Now, with all that said, how many books have you written,
Um,
or have you written any books?
yes. First off, here are you have this one. Here are 3 books. This is Faith Through
Look at
Poetry,
it
God's
together.
Will. This is uh, what is this? The feelings of life with all its ups and downs. And this is Letters to My Lord. Who am I? Each of these books were stepping stones, but these are just the 3 books. This was the very first one that I ever published. This was my second one I published. Thank you. This is the third one I published. My fourth one is soon to be out. My fifth one is almost done. But inside of all of that, in my earlier years of life, I've already written 13 books and 1 novel. I just never had the money to publish them.
Okay. Well, that's gonna come soon.
They are coming
It's gonna
soon,
come soon.
trust me. That's my manifesting.
Yep.
aligning myself with my God,
Yep.
revising the things that I've done in my life to be a better Terralisa,
Mhm.
and manifesting that one day the works that I love to do will come to light. And most of these, I'm gonna say most, all of my books will be touching to most people that read them and adhere to them, especially if you believe in a higher power. And you
Mhm.
can believe in whatever you want. You know, it can be Jehovah, Yiwa, Jesus, God, Buddha. Everybody has something that they believe in.
Mhm.
And
The purple people eater and the spaghetti monster.
if that be it or whatever. I'm not sure. But, you know, I don't knock down anybody's religion, whether you're Muslim or anything like that. Everybody has a higher power that they pray to
Mhm.
and that they believe in. And
Absolutely.
all I'm saying is that the words that I wrote will get you to thinking about your life to align, revise, and manifest.
Now I don't know if the poetry game has any kind of thing, like people ghost write for folk, in hip hop and R&B and music industry, write things for do you write for other people?
I do. And a lot of people don't know that, but I have several people that I write for that constantly come back to me to write for funerals, unfortunately, but I do them personally. I ask several questions
Right.
to the person that's in questioning me to write. I get the most pertinent information about the individual, and then I write a beautiful poem. And I've written probably 20 or 30 of them in the last year or so for several people. And one family used me a lot to do it for. Unfortunately, had
Mm,
some deaths in their family, and they
okay.
kept calling on me, and I did that for them. I go out and do public speaking. I spoke at a sobriety in Christ that Dante Lott put on.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I was
did
there.
that. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was dope.
And I also do public speaking. I speak at Queen's Provision under David Smith, who is my mentor. And it's called Passages. So I go there, we tell a 5-minute true story. So I
Okay.
get out in the world
Do
a
you
little
have
bit.
a pen name?
My pen name,
Do you have a pen name?
RBT,
So
Real
RBT.
Blessings Thrive.
Okay.
It used to be RBT, Red Bone Trouble. Now I still go by that with my family, but my cousin was like, "Stop manifesting the word trouble. We got to do something." So Real Blessings Thrive came about, and I'm very happy to say that.
So did that red bone go ahead.
Studio on it's got a question.
Studio audience.
I just want to say it before you was born. Tell me what you ever before. I before
He
To
wants you to
define
explain your
my
definition of poor.
poverty in the city of Flint, my poverty was this: my dad didn't have a job. My mom was on welfare. A few other family members lived in our house with us in a 3-bedroom home. Um, there was very, very rarely that we had food in the house.
Mm.
And it was a lot of times where me and my brothers wore the same clothes to school. We had to wash them out in the bathtub. We wore the same shoes. And I told a story before about how being uncomfortable wearing a pair of shoes that was just a little too little for me because I have 2 little brothers. And my parents had got a lot of hand me downs from other people and families, and most of them had boys. So I've been a tomboy all my life, so it was nothing to me to wear tennis shoes and sneakers and corduroys and boy pants and vests and shirts and hoodies because that's what I was used to as a kid. But as I grew older, I realized that a lot of times when my parents were who were alcoholics, God rest their soul, they did the best they could to raise us. I grew up in a household where it was nothing but alcohol. So me and my brothers would be hungry, and we would sneak downstairs and steal a beer. We saw it in the red, white, and blue can, which we all know is past blue ribbon.
Right.
We'd steal that. I'd take 2 cans upstairs. So we realized if we drank, we wasn't hungry anymore, and we didn't have to figure out what we were going to eat. And then I tried at a young age to cook for me and my brothers because my parents would either be passed out or gone, and we didn't know where they were when we woke up. And I messed up a lot of chicken. I messed up a lot of grilled cheese. I messed up a lot of things, but I never gave up trying to feed me and my brothers. So our poverty started a long time ago.
Well, the reason why I asked you that question is because once again, it's just about how society identify things is what we're trained to. I believe life is about one step at a time,
Yes.
and nothing I feel is just gonna come right out and be this and that. You have your rough moments, but it sounds like what I did get out of you when I was sitting over there listening, when you said poor, you instantly described how rich you was. I said, wow, you told me about what y'all viewed as a bad way of things. Because I came up and back in my day, I would have considered it too until I decided to look and see things from a different perspective. The teachings, the lessons of going through that. But I heard you describe just how rich you was out of that situation. You said, hey, the one television. See, there's things that show you the important. You know how great the one television was.
Mhm.
Having one television showed you that a family can sit down together, not
Mhm.
be at odds, and
Mhm.
be in harmony. If it was nothing but a big thing of popcorn, and be loving each other, having a bond.
Yes.
See, when you come up with the separate televisions, so now you're separating people,
Yes.
teaching people not to be part. So we have to be careful of what we identified back then. You say, hey, so I wrote down this and that. No, that was a calling. That was your spirit. And
Mhm.
another spirit said, hey, look, this may be looking at this like this, but hey, here's
Amen.
this for you. Because that's rich to sit and do
Mhm.
that and write and get focused into doing that.
Mhm.
So it's once again, we call material things and we use that to say gauge if we're rich, wealthy,
Mhm.
well off, or whatever you want to call it. But it's not. It's your spirit.
Yes.
It's your spirit. You know
Hey,
how many rich people
are unhappy?
and go do some heinous things
Mhm.
with the money.
Mhm.
But it's the individuals. But I'm not saying all rich people that has financial
Correct.
wealth are
Correct.
bad people now. But we've got to go back and reiterate and reteach what rich really is.
Mhm. One of the first questions George asked me was, "What's more important, money or family?" I said, "Family."
Family. And so the things we look at to say, oh, we didn't have a one, and that's a blessing.
Yes, it was.
So and it taught. So a lot of things we think that's being shown out here, we have to really be careful of how we embrace it
Mhm.
because I'm not a paranoid person, but I would like to feel that I'm conscious. But that separation is a cold enemy
Mhm.
and is so easily served now on a platter.
Yep.
When you said different families live together, that's why y'all didn't view each other as cousins. It was more brother and sister. But now, brother cousins don't even function as cousins no more. One set will be fighting the other set
I know.
and be in the courthouse
This day and hour,
arguing.
yes.
So let's look at what we really
And that's like me,
call
like my grandmother did
fortunate
with
and
us.
unfortunate.
Exactly. 100% agree with you.
Yes.
And my heart, I was in tears in the back of my head to
Mhm,
hold them back
mhm,
because I appreciate you saying that because a lot of people, George kind of mentioned that earlier, where people don't see you. They look at you,
mhm,
but they don't see you. And when I get one of my grandbabies, I try to get all 5 of them. If they're coming to spend night, all of them are coming. And I'm usually like want to do things with them, family value. Get off them phones. Let's go
right,
outside. Let's do something. Let's play a
right,
board game. Let's do
right,
something. I want to instill in them something that I didn't have, and that was to be in a home. You got all these
mhm,
functionable electronics around you. We didn't have that,
right.
but you can still have this value as family together.
Like for instance, I've seen you down here several times. Seen you. Okay, lady, come by. Now, my mind is here. Hey, it's quite a few cute females coming. Okay, you cute.
Thank
But that no, when I say that, cute. But I didn't know you, just like but I'm able today was able to come here, catch you, and get to know you from a personal perspective, and look at all the true beauty, you know, the true beauty of people. I
I
look
say
at
beauty is
like
deep within.
you're just like this brother. That's why I told him, hey man, whatever you describing, I'm not gonna say downplay it or judge you for it. But hey man, you got some great good qualities.
Yes, I
And
just told him that.
I feel privileged to know George
I do
Grundy
too.
the second, you know, and the
Shout out to
more
Out of the Mud
coming
Inc.
and the more to coming to this out of the mud, like you say, you meet another person. But then I actually get a chance today. This is really my first time meeting you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We
And it
saw each
is
other
great.
outside, we see each
Right.
other in passing, but
Exactly.
yes, and being kind. The first time I saw
Yes.
I smile, I speak, I'm
Yes.
kind, I'm not I want to manifest
Right.
a good behavior
S-
amongst other people.
Like a lot of people don't understand. Like I'm a very humorous person. Most of the time, it's gonna get a joke but I try to give people something to laugh at.
Mhm.
Man, a good
Humor.
feeling. Yes. They-
And I met
Go
her
ahead.
outside of here um, at a party, and she was the same person out here in Flint, walking around, meeting people, and doing her thing as she is sitting here behind
Amen.
this mic.
Thank you,
The same
Stephanie.
person. She hasn't shifted at all. What you see now is the same person I seen at a party, and she was still talking about the blessings, the books, the
Yes.
this, the that. She was
She
still
actually
that.
even purchased the book
I purchased
on
the
the
book.
first time meeting me.
Yep,
And
I
Imma
bought
tell
that.
you, that's the God in me. I go
Mhm.
places to deliver that message. I
Yep.
know it's a calling on me, and
Yep.
I know the
It
purpose.
is.
The purpose I have is to continue to no matter when I'm feeling like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, Lord knows that when I told you I would feel like just a couple weeks ago, George know my story. I wanted to give up.
Mhm.
When I don't put all my faith and trust in man no more. And I don't mean like
Absolutely.
a
Been
human being,
gone.
mankind. I
Yep.
put my faith and my trust in the Lord because I know that that's where I'm gonna get
Your true blessings.
my true blessing, and not only that, I'm gonna get my true knowledge of what I
Mhm.
need to do and where I need to stay focused and go because I have my past,
Mhm.
and the past don't wanna let you go sometimes.
Yep.
And some of the people that know you from your past don't wanna let go of your past to let you go.
Yep.
They wanna keep you stuck,
Absolutely.
and I don't wanna be stuck. I want to align, revise, and manifest. I wanna arm myself.
So I got a question with that
Thanks.
since you said all that.
Yes.
When should a person walk away from bad vibes?
Wow. When it starts to affect your mental, when it starts to hurt you in the heart, when it starts to make you feel like you wanna hurt somebody or put your hands on them, that's when you need to walk away.
With that, is there any point a person like if you're going through something, should you do a self check before you spaz out or
Yes,
crash
or
out?
crash out. It's always self-check, just like Stephanie was saying, just like Mike was saying, self-check. You
Yep.
gotta start within you first, because
Mhm.
first off, and no disrespect to anybody who goes through any mental thoughts or anything like that, everybody talks to themselves, right?
Absolutely.
Some of us answer ourselves.
And that's okay.
It is. It's okay not to be okay.
Yes.
But the thing is, if you're talking to yourself about anything general, you know better right from wrong, and you know what move you're about to make next.
Mhm.
So you have to have self-check first before you lash out.
Mindfulness. That's one of the tools.
Mindfulness.
So it's called
And
mindfulness, and that's what I use a
a
lot.
lot of people
Try to be
lack that.
mindful.
They
Be-
do.
And that's what end them up in prison,
Mm,
loss of life,
yes.
the killings around here. Is because
Unnecessary.
yeah, not thinking. You know, they let their
And ain't getting no
emotions
rest.
no and no rest or no sleep. Go to sleep.
Let's look at this as well. I'm not trying to say that applies to everybody, but there is. I'm not like I said. I'm not trying to justify all the negativity and violence that take place out here. But just like George F. Grundy II was saying, that I mean, there's a lot of mental illness that's out
Yes, it
here,
is.
and and I'm sad to say nobody cares. And there's so many people that's out here doing things. Like for instance, you mentioned the crack era. Okay, the crack era did something to those human beings, which end up having kids.
Mm,
I don't like calling this society will call them crack babies. I call them uh, kids that was victimized by circumstances they had no control of.
no control
I
over.
don't call them crack babies. They're born into addiction. They inner spirit of what runs in them. sent them a craving to just sample or do drugs with no thought at
Mhm.
all. You know, the government never once said, you know what, we got these people using, now they're having kids. We need to get a program. We need to sit and take some of these buildings we got, and we need to sit and hire people, and we need to run a thorough program. Look,
Yes.
they never did.
Thorough. That's the key
They didn't
word.
care.
Thorough.
Right. They never cared, because I would have to say, if I'm conscious enough to know this, then an educated
Mm.
person would darn well know that came into play,
So,
and you did nothing. They in the streets.
but you
And
said it earlier. You
yes,
said it earlier.
mhm.
You said it earlier. Acceptable loss.
Yeah,
Casualties
casualties,
of war.
Casualties of war.
casualties of
So
war.
this is another thing that our society, our government personally does. They do case studies. They want to know how things affect, and
Yeah,
you can't do it. You can only see so much in Africa. You can only
right,
see so much in Asia. You can only
right.
see so much. You know the effects that's going to have, but you can do a case study on how poisons affect
Yeah,
environments and people in
yes,
urban or rural
Poisons.
communities
yes,
with a controlled case study
Control.
that
Yes.
looks like an
yes.
epidemic or some kind of
Yes.
But
drug
it's
war
really
on
a
drugs,
project.
but it is to
Yes.
see how, if we
Right.
do this and we put this out on our enemies 20, 30 years from
Yeah.
now, how is this going to affect them,
Affect them.
and what is it going to
How
do?
can we
So
destroy
Isn't
a
that like the
whole
Tuskegee Airmen? The Tuskegee, what is it?
airman?
Tuskegee experiments.
Experiment. Yes.
So that's one thing they want to see what syphilis, how the results of syphilis on putting them into certain people would do. But even greater is acceptable loss when it comes to tactics of war. So
Mhm.
Right.
look, you remember when this hotel we're next to, the government came in and did a military
I know.
Mm-mm.
uh,
I know.
there was a group of military people that went through that and did some type of training. They had rounds and helicopters and everything, and
Oh no.
rappelling up and down the building before they repaired it. Before they did all this stuff, they did the same thing over on the east side at that school that's been abandoned forever.
Okay.
So these are,
Somebody fell through that school or something. Didn't
I don't remember all that,
they? Right.
but the government, the military, um, I can't even get my words right. But these are different things that we do because you have to have information on those that you are
Right.
going to be
Data. Yeah.
engaging with.
Yeah.
So you
Human
create
gu- human
environments,
guinea
you
pigs.
create projects.
Yes.
What is the word?
Project.
Not the
Projects.
place, but what is the word? Project. So when
Projects.
you're doing a project, you're studying for something to do something later, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a project.
Mhm.
So you put
Yeah.
people in a project
Right.
for something future. And you create case studies in places
Right.
like Flint. Flint has extreme wealth and extreme poverty all in less than 2 blocks. And where we're
Right.
standing right now,
Right.
you have extremes. People worth 30 something billion plus, and then folks that can't get $30 for a whole month
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
in the same breath.
Right. In the same strip. Yeah.
Same breath.
Mm.
So those things you can write a case study on and see how
Right.
how does philanthropy affect people when you have controlled philanthropy where you only give them just enough,
What
or
was
how
that? What was the movie with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd?
Trading
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 Places.
places.
places. Yeah,
Yes. Right then and there.
yeah.
Trading
Yes.
places.
Trading
So yeah,
Places.
I digress.
Project. That's their project for
Yes.
$1. Wow. That's something.
So with all that said, what are your thoughts on our city and our city officials?
Mm. Okay. I've always been proud to be a Flintstone and be a part of the movement when my grandparents were still alive. That's basically when my grandfather worked at Buick City and things were prosperous around and people were moving and grooving. But in this day and age, this I'm almost ashamed to say
Mm,
that it's the people that are in the offices that are designed to make sure that our city is structural and workable and the community is knowledgeable of what's going on. They're hiding stuff from us. And
mm,
I'm not politicking you all or anything like that, but I feel that they're deceiving us with a lot of things, and they're taking a lot of things and holding on to things that we rightfully supposed to have.
Mm.
So I think that I'm a little ashamed of our city officials who have not did the job that they were sworn in to do because they didn't do self-check first. And maybe they might be depressed and when they're acting out of their depression. I don't know. But maybe they need some kind of evaluations
Mm.
and somebody need to be doing some evaluating what's going on down there,
Mm.
align it, revise it, and manifest because we need to arm that. I
Almost
mean,
sound like you talking about somebody specific.
no, not nobody specific. It's
Just
just
all of
to
them.
whomever, because there's a whole lot of them, because I'm upset with the way the city
Okay.
and the police department and the courthouse judges handled a case that I was involved in.
Okay.
I'm really upset at the way they
So you're
did that.
disheartened about that.
Yeah, I have a very bad taste in my mouth about that. And that and not saying that I'm a criminal or a bad person, so don't get me wrong, y'all. It wasn't none of that stuff. But the thing is, from something that transpired 3 years ago, and I tried my best every week, every other month, every time I'm in their face. "What's up with this? Where it's at? Let me see what I need to do. Let me take care of this." And it took them 3 years, and then they tried to throw the kitchen sink at me because of it. But I still took care of all of the what they needed me to take care
Mhm.
of, the fines, fees, financial, whatever. Broke me. It broke me and almost put me in a bad place. And it really
Mhm.
did, actually, not almost, it did. But what are they doing now? Still sitting on their high horses, their high seats down there doing the exact same thing, ignoring the process. The city is ignoring the process. They're ignoring the fact that you got people out here living in abandoned houses. Why are these houses still up? Right?
Mhm.
What happened to Blythe? I don't hear about that anymore. They heard about what was her name? The lady that interviewed me for the first time, Sandra
Oh, Branch.
Branch. She was high on that, doing that, on it. I haven't heard nothing else about not saying she did anything wrong, but she was trying to put it in the public eye, let us see what's going on. Then you got stuff like, you know, people need jobs, but they behind so far down there in the city on paperwork, but you got people that's qualified to do the job, run copies, run errands, type up stuff, do the data entry. You got people to do all these things, but yet and still you're not hiring nobody for no jobs. Everybody trying to hold on to what they have. You being greedy. That's how I see it. You're being greedy.
Okay.
And I'm very ashamed of the city that I live in now.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
I totally agree with her. And I see what you're saying because of the way the system is. They talking about the food stamps and the money that they trying to take away because we can do this and we can do that. But like you said, we got people out here that's qualified to do simple things and can't even get the job. But then they want to complain that like, yeah, they just want to go get some food stamps. No, that's not the case.
They got a families to feed still.
And I know because I know a person that's out here trying and putting in applications and doing things and
I do
nothing.
too. My
And
son's
nothing.
one of them.
Yeah, my daughter is one. And then it's just nothing.
And I know he can do the job. And I know he can do the work. And I know he has the ingenuity
And
to do it.
every day going
Yep.
out and then yeah, now you have to revert to now I need some help because I have a child, like I do this, like and nobody is hiring.
Right.
And
And
then
and then
what
you see every day in the city, "Oh, we didn't get this out in the mail because
mhm,
we shorthanded or they're behind."
yeah.
Why are y'all so behind?
So to me, it
And I
sounds
won't
like
say that
y'all.
they
Yeah.
excuse me, I won't say that they're not hiring, but I say that sometimes the color of our skin
Hold you back.
be the problem, especially in better positions that we are capable of
Capable of.
holding.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like to me we need a Doge to happen here in the city of Flint.
Yeah.
Hey,
Has there been?
So
if
Elon
that's what
Musk,
it
you
takes,
already been here before. You know what we like. You know what's going on. You put money in here. You got money here. Maybe you want to come down here and help us go through the books here. You know,
align, revise, and
President Trump,
manifest.
you the current president right now. Maybe you want to come back to Flint. I was in the room when you came the first time.
Oh wow.
So you remember me. So come on back down here and holler at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I'm just ashamed of where I'm at right now. I love the city. Like I said, I'm proud to be a Flintstone, but they make it difficult for
Mhm.
people like me who wanna do better and see better. Like I said before on a few podcasts back, if I had the money and the means, I'd open up some of them old schools
Mhm.
and I get them kids back in there. I ain't got nothing against charter schools and international schools, but the Flint Board of Education and the money that goes to the charter schools is taking it away from the city of Flint. And the Board of Education can't really do much about a kid that's missing too much school at the internationals because that's out of their jurisdiction. Come on now. I mean, like somebody posted something about all these the 4 big major hospitals we had. How many hospitals we got in Flint now?
2.
Okay. We have 4.
Where?
FOH.
General.
General.
That's gone. When
I
did
know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
We
okay.
had
Oh,
the
okay. I was
We
about to
had
say.
4.
I knew
St.
this
Joseph
was
is
okay.
now the Genesis from what
Mhm.
the post
Well,
said.
it's Henry Ford now. It's
Right.
owned by them now.
And now there we go. But that's another thing, you know, you got a lot of things being taken away from us here in the city when you got an overpopulated people here that
Yep.
people need jobs.
Yep, and services
When
that
I was young, they had the youth group that would go out and employ these kids. You get a check at the end of the week for maybe 10 to 15, maybe $12 to
Mhm.
go out and clean up the city and pick up trash.
Yep, I remember that.
Summer jobs.
The kids,
What's going
the
on?
office was down around the corner
You
here.
know, I can
I
remember at
remember
one
that.
point when we had a mayor a while ago, you know, he had a lot of interns helping them understand what the process is so they can get the jobs and fortunately enough to learn enough to work for the city. These young kids with these brilliant minds, I'm all about the youth. We need to get back to basics.
Yep.
They need to open up the doors and let
But
us in.
So
I
with
think it's
that,
designed to be like
do
this.
you ever feel like because you're frustrated and disappointed, you ever move away from Flint?
I thought about it, but no. The only reason why I wouldn't is because I'm deeply rooted here. I ain't talking about no boots on the ground either. I'm talking about my feet planted
Mhm.
because of my roots here. And I still believe in this city. I do. I believe that there are other officials that's waiting for their chance to help us be strong again. I do believe in that.
Mhm.
And the way that I write different than most authors that I know.
Mhm.
And I got that from the ingenuity of the things I've had to endure
Mhm.
and live and go through while living in this city.
Your life.
It's my life.
So it's
Mhm.
almost like love conquers hate.
Love conquers hate. And I'm a firm believer that love conquers hate because somebody might not like you and you can smile at them and say hi every day and they're going to give you
Mhm.
the dirtiest look.
Yeah.
But you keep standing true to you and your own prosperity about you and you smile and you keep on going. Keep on
Mhm.
going. You look to the hills and you keep going. And then eventually either they're going to break or get out of your way.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Okay, so it sounds like you're digging deep into your country roots on that one right there.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Oh yeah. I've been country for a long
what
time.
got you into that?
My
Dressing
granddaddy.
like that?
Yeah. Well, okay. Again, back to always been a tomboyish girl. I like boys. I don't like girls. I don't like boys. But I've been a tomboy
Is
all
that your
my life.
final answer?
Hmm?
Is that your
That's your
final
final
answer?
answer.
It's my final. I mean, I love everybody. I don't have a problem with females, you know.
Look, it
But
was final. Now it got loose a little bit.
yeah,
Your final.
there we go.
Okay.
So I've always been country western. Anybody one of my good friends, Shaquana Bohanna, shout out to her. My heart still goes out to her. She lost her son back here in April, so I still pray
Condolences.
for her. She said to someone, they said, "Oh, that's a nice outfit." She said, "Child, that ain't no outfit. That's how that girl dressed every day. She been country since she was 2." And I laughed because she didn't know me when I was 2, but technically she had it right.
Mhm.
Everybody in my family, I've always been like that. I've always had a knack for it. My grandfather was the best cowboy that I ever known. He loved Western. He loved,
Mhm.
you know, his sports and he loved baseball and things like that. Stuff that
Okay.
I don't play, but
Yeah.
he
But
was the big guy.
Okay. Yeah. Now we're at an hour and 24 minutes,
I know.
which is cool because we had a live audience engaging and
I
all
appreciate
that.
y'all.
Yeah.
cool.
Y'all came
Yes.
through and saved me a little bit because I was doing something different. And I'm glad to have been able the opportunity to do this, but we are at an end and
But
because
before
I'm
we end,
hungry.
you
I'm
hungry.
hungry.
So tell people how they can get in touch with you and
You all can
follow
get in
through.
touch with me on Out of the Mud Inc. Shout out to Out of the Mud Inc. George F. Grundy II, James Mayfield, the Greatest Mayfield, Larry Lott. You can catch me on the podcast. Yep, on YouTube. You can hit me up on Facebook as Terralisa McBride. I'm on Instagram as Real Blessings Thrive. I'm on TikTok as Real Blessings Thrive. And again, just Facebook Messenger or Facebook. That's fine. And I'm sure to reach out to you. If you're interested in a book, I'm on Amazon. When that fourth book comes out, I will be right here out of the mud to help promote it. And maybe when that other room together was talking some stuff about money, I might get a book signing down this way or something.
Oh,
Oh,
most definitely.
We'll see.
manifest that, girl.
We'll see.
It's
Matter of fact,
ready now.
Stephanie,
Manifest that,
you
girl.
right there with me. Arm
Yes.
yourself.
It's
I'm arming myself with
Yes.
Out of the Mud Ink.
the
There
room
you
ready now.
go.
We can
Get
have
it.
it. We can have it right now.
Yeah, well, I got to get the book.
Period.
My people said, "All right, what's going on? I'm just waiting on you." No, she waiting on me, but we waiting on each other. We collaborate very well. I love Tamika. She has been exceptional in my life, and I
Mhm.
appreciate her. But today has been a very interesting 21 questions, turned into a little bit more. But hey, it's all good. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you still like, share, and subscribe. And once again, giving a shout out to MUA Jock, book for her for all your makeup needs. Makeupismylife.com. Once again, alert, red alert, RBT, snaps and chats with the 21 questions